I've got a plant here, which I can show you. Now this one's making new root tips on the front. See, the roots are white and the ends of the roots are green. That means that root's actively growing. So if you repot this and you don't damage those new roots coming out, they'll get reestablished fairly quickly. So this one would be fairly easy to repot this time of year without any transplanting shock. Ideally, it would be good to have it with the roots just barely starting, just like a 1/4 inch tip of green, rather than this long. But if you're really careful, you can do this without actually breaking those roots out. So it's best to water the plant the day before you pot, so the roots are a little softer, a little more flexible, there's less breakage on the roots. And then you just want to take it out of the pot carefully. Now some of the plastic pots you can just kind of take a hammer and wrap on the edge of the pot and the pot will slip off. If you have a clay pot, you usually need to go around the inside of the pot with a knife and actually cut the roots away from the pot, because the clay pots are porous, the roots tend to cling to it very tenaciously. So you're going to need do a little more work on a clay pot. Now you can sterilize your cutting tools by soaking them in a bleach solution, but it tends to be a little corrosive on the metal. You can use some other disinfectants, Lysol, things like that. But you need to soak the tools at least 10 minutes to kill any viruses which may be on the cutting tools. Now a plant may look perfectly normal, but it may be carrying viruses in the plant tissue, especially Phalaenopsis that you find in some of the stores. And those don't usually show up the symptoms on the plants. But if you cut one of those that has a virus, cut another plant like a cattleya, which is very sensitive to virus, it will show up in the cattleyas. It will be streaking in the foliage, it will be streaking in the flowers, it will basically ruin the plant. And it'll always be with the plant. So you can soak the tools for at least 10 minutes, which is kind of cumbersome if you have a lot of plants you're repotting, or you can heat sterilize them, just heat on both sides of the cutting tools, just for a few seconds. You don't need to get the tools red hot, because you just want to sterilize the outer surface of the cutting tool. So this is the newest part of the plant here at the front. They're all growing in this direction. This is the oldest part of the back. A lot of times the older leaves will lose the leaf blade on the top and you just have a bulb. And this is not really a very active part of the plant, so we usually just cut this older portion away and throw it out. You may want to repot it and try to get it to make a little growth, but it'd be many years before it would bloom again. So commercially, we usually just cut the back portion and throw that portion away and just save the good portion. It's sort of like when you're dividing iris or some other perennials. You just kind of cut them in sections like that. So we're going to cut through the stem, which connects all the bulbs together at the back. It's called the rhizome. Make sure you get all your metal stakes out of the way so you don't poke on those. Take all of those off and you don't have to clean up all the bark, and you don't want to, best not to disturb any of the new roots at the front. Just take off most of the old material, and some of these roots have already been severed and they just kind of fall away naturally.
Underneath the mango tree.